Hey friends, we're going to be working on worksheet D-65. This is page 11 in your packet if you've got it in your 6.2 packet. So we're just going to do some 3 problems on your homework today. And I'm going to choose, we're going to go over number 1, and then we'll do number 4, and we'll do number 7. So we'll do those 3 problems, and hopefully you'll be able to do the rest of them. So, and find out that hilarious riddle. So let's get started. Number 1. So remember that for an even better breakdown, you're going to want to watch the notes video, but I'm going to kind of speed through it. Remember that we have a front and a back side, a left and a right, and a top and a bottom. So front and back, left and right, top and bottom. Number 1 is a rectangular prism. So it's got 2 bases and then it's got rectangles connecting those 2 bases, but let's go ahead and draw our base right now. Now, I can draw 2 bases, or I can just draw 1 base and multiply by 2, but I'm gonna do this just so that it's easier to see. So let's go ahead and do the front and the back. So the front and the back, I'm just going to say front / back, has a base of 6, and the height, doesn't say the height over here. It doesn't say the height over here, but this height should be the same because it's a rectangle. So if this is 5, this is also 5. So it's got a base of 6 and a height of 5. 6 and 5. And I can write 6 and 5 over here if I want to. I really don't have to if I don't need to. And remember that the area of a rectangle is base times height. Base is 6, the height is 5, which means our area is 30. So this is 30, which means the back is also 30. Which means a total of 60, which we're going to want to add later. The left and the right side, the sides, I'm just going to say left and right. Let's call this the left and the right side, this face right here. And that is going to be the left side of the box of our prism. So let's do 2 of them. So the base is 4, and the height is 5. That's easy. 4 times 5, which is base times height. 4 times 5 is 20. So this is 20, which means this is 20, which means if you add them both up, or if you multiply 20 by 2, you have an area of 40. And finally, let's do the top and the bottom. So they're also rectangles. Notice the rectangles don't have to be accurate. They just need to kind of be placeholders. So the top and the bottom. So we're going to do the bottom and the top. I'm going to look at the base of the bottom is 6. The height of the bottom is 4. So 6 and 4, base times height. 6 times 4 is 24. Which means this is 24, which means the top is, the bottom's also, top's also 24. 24 plus 24, if you put in your calculator, is 48. Oops. So now that I know that the front and the back, 30, 30, 20, 20, 24, 24, I can add all these numbers up, or because I've already doubled it right here, I could add 60 and 40, which is 100, and then 48, which is 148. So my surface area, if I add them all up, is 148. And it's in centimeters, so that means our area, surface area, is in centimeters squared. So that's number 1. Number 2 is a rectangular, because it's got a rectangle for a base, a rectangular pyramid, which means it's going to have triangles for the side. So I'm going to do number 4 in pink. So we have one base and we have 4 sides, and actually all 4 sides, they're not always going to be the same. In this case, they will be. But yeah, I can draw 4 triangles, or some people like to just draw a triangle and then they just write times 4 afterward. Either one's will work for you. Either one of those is a good idea. So let's go ahead and do the base. The base is 8 by 8. And remember, it's a rectangle. Area of a rectangle is base times height. 8 times 8 is 64. So 64, I'm just going to write that on the side. Triangle. Now my triangle has a base of 8 and it has a height of 10. So this is 10, this is 8, or I can write it over here. This is 8 and this is 10. And it's base times height divided by 2. So our base is 8, our height is 10, and if you divide that by 2, you should get 40, which means this is 40, and this is also 40, and this is also 40, or this is also 40. And you can add those up, or you can just do this and multiply by 4. Now, if you multiply it out, or if you add them all up, you end up finding out that the area, the surface area of all 4 triangle sides is 160. So 160 is all the triangles added up, plus 64, which is the area of the base. So that should be, if I add it with my calculator, 224. Now 224 what? Oh, it's in inches, so inches squared. So that's how you find that. Let's do last one, number 7, which is a triangular prism. That means it has 2 bases, and the bases are triangles. So I'm gonna have these triangles. I can draw 2 of them, or in this case, I'm actually going to, well, let's just kind of stay with it. You guys can just write triangle times 2 if you want, but I'm just gonna do the same thing so not to confuse you guys. So the base of this triangle is 12. It's right here, it's 12. The height of this triangle is 5. So remember, base times height divided by 2. Our base is our base is 12. Our height is 5. Not that it would have mattered if we reverse the order. And we divide that by 2. So if we did 12 times 5, that's 60. Divided by 2, that's 30. So we get an area of 30, which means this is also 30. So our 2 bases together is going to equal 60. Let's do the rectangular sides now. Now, it looks like I've got 3 rectangular sides, so I can just do this and multiply by 3, but I cannot do that. The reason is because these rectangles, if you look at them closely, you'll notice that they have different dimensions. So let's take a look at the one in the front first. This rectangle has a base of 12, and it has a height of 10. So base times height is 12 times 10, which is 120. Let's do this rectangle right here, this side. It is not a 12 by 10. If we look at the base, which doesn't show down there, but it does show up there, our base is 9, our height is 10. So we have a second triangle with a different base and height. Base times height is 9 times 10, which means an area of 90. And finally, we have a third rectangle. And let's see, hopefully we can get that in there. There we go. Our third rectangle, we can't see the base down here, but the base is up there, 7. Our height is 10. The height of all of these is the same. 7 times 10, Base times height, 7 times 10, which is 70. And if we add all these up, 70 plus 90 plus 120 plus our two bases, which is 60. I don't have my calculator right now, but that's 180. 180 plus 90 is 270. 270 plus another 70 should be 340. I believe it should be roughly 340. You can use a calculator to check me. And it's in meters because it says M, meters squared. So that is number 1, 4, and 7. Hopefully you guys can do 2, 3, 5, 6, and 8, and 9 on your own. Good luck.